Let's talk about the circumstances under which the use of P2 pills will fail to work. So, P2 pills are also called the postinatal pills. We have some people who call it the morning after pills. We have some who call it the after pills. All of these refer to the same P2 pills. And in Kenya, it is we call them the P2 pills. So there's different circumstances whereby the use of postinatal pills will fail to work. That is what we are going to discuss in this video. So the P2 pills are medications which are meant to be used in times of emergencies, and these situations is whereby include situations whereby you have had sex which you are not planning to have, or in situations whereby maybe somebody forced you to have sex without your consent. So we are going to discuss about the situations whereby and the things which might make the use of P2 pills to fail to work. So I want to welcome you to my channel. For those who are new to my channel, my name is Maxwell Abwire, and in this channel we discuss different health related topics. So for those who are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. For those who are not new to my channel, I want to welcome you to welcome you back to my channel. Consider liking the video, and you can also put a comment down in the comment section below. And also don't forget to share the video to your friends and people you care about. They say sharing is caring. So without wasting time, let's go to the video of today.
I be so sick of you niggas, y'all contradicting. I be so bold myself when you come and fuck me. I feel so ordinary, except when you around me. Treat me like water while you wear me out. Arguments, you air me out. Tripping about you.
Welcome again. So the first circumstance whereby you find that the use of postnatal pills will not work is when you use expired medications. So this does not only apply to the P2 pills, it also applies to other medications. So you find that when the manufacturers make these medications, they usually calculate the time whereby this medication will become effective. After the lapse of that time, you find that the medication will not be able to work. So before you take any medication, please consider looking at the expiry date of those medication before consuming the P2 pill. So you find that sometimes we have some people who work in these chemists or in pharmacies who stock large quantities of drugs. So sometimes because of the low sales or the low the medication will not be in that demand, or there are some medications which were ordered earlier than others, but they remain in the pharmacies without being sold. Or sometimes because sometimes the medication delay at the port, or they can delay at the depot. So by the time you're going to take the medication, you might find that the medication has already expired. So when you use this medication, they will not work. So first of all, you need to confirm the expiry date of this medication. So the second circumstance whereby the use of P2 pills will fail to work is when you delay taking the medication and you take it after the lapse of 72 hours. So at the time emergency means that you should take how can I define it? You should take a rapid, as quick as possible action, so that to save yourself or to save something. The P2 pills are meant to be used as soon as possible. So when you take the medication, the medication need to be taken within a span of 72 hours. So when you take the medication between the 0 hour and the 48 hour, 72 hours is a 3-day period. So 0 to 48 hours means that between the first 2 days. So when you take the medication within the 0 hour and the 48 hour, you'll find that the effectiveness of the medication will be at 95%. That means that there will be a 95% that chance that the medication will work. When you take the medication between the 48 hour and the 72 hour, this is the 3rd day. We start counting this number of hours from the last hour whereby you had sex. So when you take the medication between the 48 and 72 hours, you'll find that the effectiveness of the medication will be at 58%. The effectiveness will have reduced. So when you take the medication after the lapse of 72 hours, the medication will not work. So it is important for you to take the medication as soon as possible, as soon as you remember that you avoid sex, but you are not planning to get pregnant. Just take the medication as soon as possible. The third circumstance whereby the use of P2 pills will not work is when you vomit within 2 hours after taking the medication. So you find that maybe you have taken the medication, but because you have eaten contaminated food, or you have contracted other diseases such as malaria, which has made you to vomit within 2 hours after taking the medication, you must know that the medication will not work. So it takes approximately 2 hours before the medication is completely absorbed into the blood and into the body. So within that 2 hours, when you vomit, there's a possibility that you might vomit. A good percentage of the drug will not have been absorbed. So when you vomit within those 2 hours, you need to go to the chemist or to the pharmacy, buy another drug, and take the medication once again. The other circumstance whereby the use of postnatal pills will not work is when you are already pregnant. So the mechanism of action of postnatal pills is to delay ovulation. And we say that you are pregnant when already implantation has already occurred. So implantation takes between 6 to 12 days after sex. So when you are already pregnant, the P2 pills are not meant to terminate the pregnancy. I've just talked about the mechanism of action. It is not meant to terminate an existing pregnancy. So whenever you are already pregnant, when you feel you have the signs of pregnancy, you go and take maybe do a pregnancy test, and you realize that you are pregnant. And when you use the medication will not terminate that pregnancy. So you should use the medication only when you are not pregnant. The number 5 circumstance whereby the use of postnatal pills will not work is when you have already used another P2 pills within the same menstrual cycle. So this comes in this way. So you find that the mechanism of action of the P2 pills is to delay ovulation by at least 5 to 7 days. So maybe you had sex within the same cycle. When I'm talking about the same cycle, is the a cycle is whereby the period whereby you started having your menstrual periods to the next time when you are having your next menstrual period. So we count the number of cycle by the first day whereby you had your menstrual period, you saw your menstrual period, to the next day before you saw the next menstrual period. So within that time, this can be in terms of approximately a menstrual cycle takes 28 days, but sometimes it can go as low as 21, and some can go as high as 35. Just as long as it is between the 21 and 35, that 5 we consider it being normal. So when you have used P2 pills within the same menstrual cycle, the P2 pills are meant to delay ovulation. Ovulation is whereby the release of the fertilized, oh, not fertilized, the release of the eggs from the ovaries. So when you take this medication, they delay the process of the release of these eggs from the ovaries by 5 to 7 days. So maybe you use this medication and it worked at the first time, whereby it delayed the medication by 5 to 7 days. So the next time you're going to take the medication, it will not work because the ovulation has already been delayed, and it can no longer continue being delayed. You can no longer continue delaying ovulation. Ovulation must occur, so you cannot keep it delayed for that long. So that's why you need to reserve the P2 pills for emergency situations, and you should not use it as a regular means of protecting yourself against pregnancy. So avoid using P2 pills multiple times within the same menstrual cycle, because the second time or the other time whereby you will be using the P2 pills, there are chances that the medication will fail to work. The other circumstance whereby the use of postnatal pills will not work is after ovulation. Yes, after ovulation. Ovulation is the process of the release of the eggs from the ovaries, so that they can go to the uterus so that they can get fertilized before you get pregnant. So when you use the medication after ovulation, ovulation probably takes roughly approximately in the middle of the cycle. We approximate it to for a person who has a 28-day cycle, we approximate that it might occur on the 14th day, but it does not mean that it can occur exactly at the 14th day. It can occur 2 days before or 2 days after for a person who has a cycle of a 28-day cycle. For different ladies have different days of ovulation. So based on your the length of the days of your cycle, that's when you will know that the day you can calculate the day when you have ovulation. So I talked about this in the video whereby I was discussing on how to calculate your self days. So when you have already ovulated, there's a low chance of the medication helping you, because you have said that the mechanism of action of the medication is to delay ovulation. So when already ovulation has already occurred, the drug will not work. The use of P2 pills will fail to work when you use it with certain other medications. There is something we call the drug-to-drug interaction. We have some drugs which increase the concentration of other drugs, and we have some drugs which will reduce the concentration of other drugs in blood. So when you use some medication which I'm going to mention here, this medication reduce the concentration of the P2 pills of the estrogen hormone, which is the component of the P2 pills in blood. So we have some medications such as rifampicin. Rifampicin is an anti-TB. We have efavirenz. Efavirenz is an ARV. We have carbamazepine. Carbamazepine is an antipsychotic medication. And we also have griseofulvin. Griseofulvin is a medication, it's an antifungal medication used to fight against fungal infections. So when you use the P2 pills with these medications, you will find that there are chances that that it may fail to work, because these medications reduce the concentration of the postnatal pills drug in the body. The use of postnatal pills will fail to work when you have other medical conditions, specifically liver conditions. This includes cirrhosis, we have hepatitis, we have liver diseases, and we have other diseases that affect the liver. So the liver is an organ in the body whereby it either metabolizes medication to active ingredients, or it either destroys medication so that it can remove detoxify. We call it detoxification of blood. So when you have liver failure or conditions which affect your liver, the liver is the one that we said it metabolizes. It converts the medication to active ingredients. So when anything that affects the liver will affect the concentration of the P2 pills. The last place whereby the use of P2 pills will fail to work is when you are a regular user of P2 pills. When you use the P2 pills regularly. So this can occur whereby you use the P2 pills, let's say monthly or weekly. So it reaches a point whereby your body gets used to the concentration of these pills in the blood. So there's something called tolerance. So tolerance whereby your body has gotten used to the usage of P2 pills. So the next time you're going to take the P2 pills, it will only subject you to the side effects of the medications, which include the nausea, vomiting, and stomach pains, but the medication will not work. So you should reserve the P2 pills for cases of emergencies, and you should not use it as a regular means of protecting yourself against getting pregnancy, because it will reach a point whereby the body will tolerate this concentration of medication, and also based on the things which I have also mentioned earlier, there are chances whereby you will find that they will fail to work and you can become pregnant in those circumstances. So So with that said, I've come to the end of my video. So we have talked about the different circumstances whereby the use of P2 pills will fail to work. So it is important that you consider these factors before using the postnatal pills. There is another video whereby I've talked about the effects of using the postnatal pills for multiple times or in a long period of time, whereby I've talked about the things that might happen to you when you are a regular user of the P2 pill. So I just want to thank you for watching the video to the end, and I just want to remind you to please subscribe, like and share the video, and let me hear your thoughts in the comment section below.